Hey Judy, so I'm going to walk you through my calendar for AP Literature. This is probably the most complicated calendar of the three because this is the one where I have A students and B students doing different things. So you'll be working with whatever students are in person doing some particular activity that can only be done in person, and then the students who are at home are just going to be reading. So that might seem a little complicated, but hopefully with me explaining it to you, it'll make a little bit more sense. So as you can see, they'll be reading Beloved here. I do recommend that you read Beloved between now and when you start. It will really help you guiding these conversations. I can certainly get you a copy if that would help. So here on my last day, April 23rd, they will have read up to chapter 22. Well, my A students will have read up to chapter 22. My B students will have read up to chapter 16. And I'll do all of these activities. Obviously, you'll be here with me on the 19th to do this. Then on the 26th, which is your first day, obviously you'll do introductions and all of that stuff. You'll have plenty of time in the 75-minute block to do all of that and still get through these activities. Then there's a close reading analysis activity that they're going to do in partners. Or this is a very small group. My A class, there's only 4 of them, so you might have all 4 of them work together. That's fine too. And I will have passages and specific questions assigned to them to read. I will create, anytime you see a material like this or content like this, I will have it created and put into a folder for you. It's an electronic copy of a Word document, so you can make any edits, any changes that you want to make, but I will, I'll have picked out the passages. I'll have posed the questions, so you don't have to do all of that work coming in fresh. On this day, so that's what the A students are doing in class. On this day, the B students are reading 17 to 22. Then you'll do this exact same activity in person with the B students on Thursday. So it's literally the same activity. We're just sort of staggering the lessons because they'll be at different parts in the book. On this day, the A students are finishing the novel. Then we have a weekend. The A students will come back. They're going to do this When Denver Steps Off the Edge of the World activity. Again, I will have that ready for you in a Word document ready to go. And then part 3, which is the last part of the book, obviously a general discussion. So you'll lead like a full class discussion here. And again, I'll give you the questions. Obviously, I hope this is obvious. You can change questions, add questions, delete questions. That's all completely fine. I don't care if you throw away everything I give you in these folders. I don't want you to feel like you're walking in and sort of balking at having to create lesson plans right off the bat. I should have mentioned that every Wednesday they're reading independent reading books that they chose to accompany them for this unit. From a list I gave them, by the time you come in, they'll be well established in their independent reading activities. The only thing you'll need to do on Schoology on Wednesdays is give them a journal prompt, and I can show you how to do that. It's real simple, just like tell me about the characters in your book, or tell me about the conflict, just sort of any kind of brief analysis, and then in their journal, they'll analyze that. So by this point, the A students have everybody's finished the novel by the 3rd. The A students have finished it and discussed it at a great deal of length. So instead of doing independent reading here, we're coming up on 2 weeks before the AP test, so I'm canceling independent reading these 2 weeks in favor of advancing our test prep a little bit so they're a little bit more prepared. So instead of doing independent reading today, they're going to do a practice question 3, which is the 3rd essay option on the AP test. It's an open-ended essay where they get a prompt and they have to use a novel that they've read. So I'd like you to require them to use Beloved, and that's sort of a nice little test there. I will have a separate video for exactly how to assign stuff from AP Classroom. It is not hard. You'll be able to do it very easily after practicing once or twice. So that's what they should do this Wednesday instead of independent reading. On Thursday, the A students are ahead by a day, so they get like a bonus test prep. You can give them whatever you want, multiple choice, maybe 1 multiple choice passage and an essay, or just an essay, or 3 multiple choice passages, whatever you want to give them. Again, I'll show you how to do this from AP Classroom. That's sort of a bonus thing that the A students are going to do that the B students aren't going to do because the A students are a day ahead. Sorry, you're going to hear my kids in the background here. Bear with me. This is when the B students are going to do, Xander, honey, shh. When the B students are going to be doing the exact same end of novel discussion that you did on Monday. After this point, A and B are back on the same page. So they're doing the same act. Once we're done with Beloved, they're back to doing the same thing. This whole week is going to be test prep. Okay, so they'll need some practice multiple choice. There are prose and poetry passages. Make sure they get both. And then they should do a practice question 2 essay. Question 2 is the prose essay. Question 1 is the poetry essay. I think I might have that flip-flopped, but make sure they do. In AP Classroom, they'll call it Q1 or Q2. And then same thing here, no independent reading. They should have another practice Q3, and they can choose any of their independent reading books from the year. They've read 3. And then for this test prep, you can give them whatever you think they need the most. If they've been bombing the multiple choice, give them a whole bunch of multiple choice. If they've been struggling with the essays, give them an essay. Give them a combination of some multiple choice and some essays. You can even ask them which test prep you think they need the most. And then you can make an executive decision on the 17th. Do you want to do more test prep? Do you want to do pep talks? Do you want to do a little boot camp before the AP test, couple of reminders? Any of those things would be fine here. Tuesday the 18th, they'll be taking the AP test. And then after that, we're really done. We've covered all the content. They definitely need this Wednesday off. Just don't assign them anything. It'll be totally fine. And then you have 2.5 weeks with them to do whatever you want. So Kate Muir is the other AP teacher. Her name is here. Keely McGeehan can put you in touch with her. You can ask her what she's doing after the AP test. Or if there's something you're really passionate about that would be fun for them to do that. You could have them watch the Beloved film. You could do poetry about social justice and things that are going on in the world. You could do a journalism unit. Honestly, whatever you want to do, just make it low-key and light, not a lot of grades, not a lot of writing. They're going to be exhausted. They're seniors 2 weeks before graduation. Just something really light and sort of easy to accomplish. And so that's this day, this day, this day, this day, and then these 2 days. And then the seniors' last day is the 3rd. You'll notice that they finish a little earlier than everybody else. This whole class will be done this day. The rest of the classes continue going into here. So hopefully this helps. Obviously, I will walk you through this in person. Happy to answer any questions you have, but I just wanted to give you sort of like a brief overview of, in general, where they're going to be. Sorry that my kids are fighting in the background. So, yes, and buddy, I told you I'm making a video for school, honey. They're squabbling over what they can watch. So anyway, that's the AP Literature calendar.